Hello my guys, welcome to an unboxing of epic proportions. As you can see, I have quite a stack of boxes next to me, and what you actually can't see, so you can only see up to here, there are 3 boxes under that you can't even see that we have. So all of my August boxes actually arrived pretty early. They all arrived before the end of the month, which is wild, never happens. And there's a lot of them. So I don't know how this happened, because if you remember in July, we unboxed an extra August one that had arrived super early, and still this is intense. So before we get into actually opening these things, I will show you exactly what we have today. Large Library are a UK based fantasy subscription box from HarperCollins. So it is the Harper Voyager and Magpie imprint books. Every month you get a brand new hardback release in an exclusive edition. I'm really excited to see this particular edition. I'll talk about why later. For the Fairyloots, they are forming the bulk of this. We have 5 to talk about today. 3 of them I received from Fairyloot to show you guys in this video. I am currently a rep for Fairyloot. So in terms of the rep packages, thank you very much to Fairyloot for sending me the monthly YA, adult and romantasy box to open here on my channel. Fairyloot are a UK based bookish subscription box. They have 3 monthly subscriptions. Each one is a brand new exclusive hardback release, and then the YA box also has a selection of bookish goodies as well. So I have the Romantasy, I have the adult box, and then I have the YA. In terms of Fairyloot, there are 2 special editions that I have paid for myself. Very excited about both of these and hoping that I can read them very soon. And then we also have my other 2 rep boxes, which are the July and the August Illumicrate boxes. So thank you very much to Illumicrate for sending these to open on my channel. And if you guys would like to get your own Illumicrate after watching this video, you can use my code Becca5 to get yourself a discount on a 3 or a 6-month subscription. So the July box I'm actually really interested to see, and the August one I can't even remember what the book is at this point. So where do we start? I guess should we do Fairyloot last because of how many of them we have? And I guess we'll go for the Illumicrates first. So I think that the one on the bottom is the one I've had the longest, which is the July box. I've heard some interesting things about the items in here, which is what I'm most excited to see. Going straight in for the spoiler card. The theme for this month, or for last month, is Magical Menagerie. I will be going in blind, but if you guys want to pause and look at the spoilers here, you are welcome to do so. Straight off, I can see that we have a new desk mat, which I currently have the last Illumicrate desk mat on my desk, and I absolutely love it. A desk mat is not something that I ever thought that I was gonna need, but I really like it. So this one is called the Phoenix Keeper desk mat, and as you can imagine, it has a phoenix on it. It also has, these aren't just phoenixes, right? Because these look like geese, and I'm not sure because this one still does kind of look phoenixy, but it's blue. Next up we have this little case, which has, it looks like it has like a jaguar maybe printed on it, and it is literally just a case with a mirror. So let me have a look on the spoiler card if it gives me some sort of clue as to what this is for. Oh, it's a lipstick holder. Okay, so it's a lipstick case with artwork inspired by beasts of prey. And then obviously you have the mirror to help you apply. We then have a magnetic bookmark set. What is this inspired by? Oh, these ones are inspired by Emily Wild's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which is a book that I read and I enjoyed, but I felt no desire to kind of like continue on. Like I was fine just reading book 1. And then we've had one of these before. I can't remember if it's a reading journal or a sticker book or something. It's not the sticker book actually. I remember what that looks like. And it's the new reading journal. So you have, yes, they're pre-printed pages, which is cool. You have the bookshelves, your favorite books of the month. Ooh, there's an Illumicrate reading challenge in here. There's a bingo board of like Illumicrate books, which is cool. I actually should probably use one of these at some point because I just keep hoarding them and it is just truly unnecessary. But I do a lot of my reading journaling like digital now, just because I have commitment issues when it comes to stationery, but I do really like the kind of layout of this. And then the book of the month, which is, I didn't know that this was a cozy fantasy actually, but I knew what the book was, and that is the Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean. So the reason why I know what this is specifically is because it fits our magical readathon prompt that's like very specific with Phoenix in the title or on the cover, so this is definitely a contender for me. I think that this is a different colorway from the original, so I will overlay the original over the top if you guys would like to see the difference. The original one is more solidly orange, where this one has like a lot of green that's replacing some of the gold tones on the original cover. We also have a printed edge here, which I think is really pretty, especially how it fits in with the cover design. Under the dust jacket, we have a printed hardcover with once again a phoenix on. And something that I do really like actually is the art style on these printed end papers. Oh, the tipping page is actually really cute as well here. Are we dreaming? Oh, we're dreaming. We're actually full demon dreaming. Her eyes are rolling back in her head. On the back, we have different end paper art as well, still in this gorgeous art style. So all I know about this, I don't know if it is cozy fantasy for sure. I've just seen it described as such. So let us read the synopsis together. It's a long one, guys. Buckle up. As head phoenix keeper at a world-renowned zoo for magical creatures, Ayla's childhood dream of conserving critically endangered firebirds seems closer than ever. There's just one glaring caveat. Her zoo's breeding program hasn't functioned for a decade. When a tragic phoenix heist sabotages the flagship initiative at a neighbouring zoo, Ayla must prove her derelict facilities are fit to take the reins. But saving an entire species from extinction requires more than stellar animal handling skills. Carnivorous water horses, tempestuous thunderhawks, mischievous dragons, Ayla has no problem wrangling beasts. Inspiring zoo patrons? That's another story. Mustering the courage to ask for help from the hotshot griffin keeper at the zoo's most popular exhibit? Virtually impossible. Especially when that hotshot griffin keeper happens to be her arch rival from college, Luciana, an annoyingly brooding and insufferable know-it-all with the grace of a basilisk and the face of a goddess who's convinced that Ayla's beloved phoenix would serve their cause better as an active performer rather than a passive conservation exhibit. With the world watching and the threat of poachers looming, Ayla's success is no longer merely a matter of keeping her job. She is the keeper of the phoenix and the future of species now rests on her shoulders. There's just one thing she has to remember. She is also not alone. Against an epic fantasy backdrop teeming with all your favourite mythical beasts from dragons and unicorns to kelpies and krakens, the Phoenix Keeper combines the cozy fantasy stakes of TJ Klune and Travis Baldry with the heartwarming contemporary romance of Alice Oseman and Casey McQuiston, which yes, I think it is. Yeah, it's sapphic and it is very much cozy fantasy. I feel like it's very thick for a cozy fantasy style story at 463 pages, but it is based on that synopsis. Aside from the mythical creatures, it is giving me like contemporary romance vibes. So this is an interesting one. I feel like the cover is not giving me like cozy sapphic romance kind of vibes. So we'll see how this goes, because I do like cozy fantasy, but not always. And the same for contemporary romance, really. So down in the comments, let me know what your favorite item from this month's Illumicrate is. I would say it is like a middle of the road kind of Illumicrate box for me. I think I prefer the desk mat that I already have from Illumicrate just because it's purple, so I feel like the colour kind of matches this room a little bit more. But I do like the desk mats in general, and I do like this. I'm not sure if I will use it because I have commitment issues when it comes to stationery. Maybe I should just fuck it and use it, you know? Maybe that is the way forward. But yeah, let me know what your favourite item from this month's box is. And moving on from that, we will get into the August Illumicrate box, which I have just seen from the back of the July spoiler card art. The theme for this one is Look What You Made Me Do, and I cannot remember what the book is. So here is the art and the spoilers, if anybody would like to pause and take a look. This is cool. This is not, oh, is it? No, but this can be useful for me actually. I was gonna say this isn't useful for me, but it's a really cool idea for an item. It's a Baba Yaga pill organizer. So I only take like one actual medication a day. But I do take vitamins, so I guess I could use this. Obviously, we all know what a pill organizer is. So this one obviously has like a folkloric design. It's a pretty cool idea, I can't lie. We also have a mug. Ooh, oh, more bowls, more bowls. I actually really like the Illumicrate bowls. I used one this morning. The last two were a sun and moon design. And Curtis actually accidentally smashed one, but liked them so much that he bought more off Vinted. So he's going to be happy about this as well. I also really like the theming naming of all of the items in this box. I do feel like these are a little bit smaller than the last ones because this is not a breakfast size bowl for me. So I feel like we have lost a bit of size here. But they have bats and a window on this one. And then I like this design a little bit better, which is bats and a coffin. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed by the size of these, especially in comparison to like the ones I've had in the past. One of the weapon replicas, sword replicas, which is, you know, I probably couldn't tell you, so I'm gonna look in the book. This is Araya's weapon from The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which I have not read yet. I have said this before, but these sword replicas, I think that they're really cool ideas. For me personally, they're not the most kind of useful things because I think that they are definitely something that you can have too many of, and if you're not like a massive fan of the series, then they're not something that necessarily you need to have hanging around, in my opinion. I know other people will really love them, but that's just like my take. And then this, I think, is a set of packing cubes, which I was gonna say always comes in handy. I can't lie, I don't use them. One of the reasons I don't use them though is because I don't have any. And if I did, I probably would, because I have received like toiletry bags in subscription boxes before that I do end up using for my packing. So this is the pattern on the smaller one. And then the bigger one has, is it the same? Yeah, it's the same, but one's red and one's black. And then the book of the month is Mistress of Lies by K.M. Enright. At some point I will have looked this up, but at this point I have absolutely no recollection of ever seeing this book before. So the cover is a different colorway, so I will overlay the original over the top so you guys can see the difference. The original is red where this one is gold. I really like the intricate printed edge on here and like the gothic-y black and whiteness of it. Oh my god, the end papers are stunning. I am living for the vibe. Is this vampires? Because I'm kind of over vampires, but I feel like I could be persuaded to not be over vampires. Do we have a throuple going on here? I'm gonna read the synopsis and find out. Oh wait, oh, she is pretty. That is stunning. I am obsessed with this printed cover. Definitely my favorite feature of the book. It is also signed by the author. But yeah, now let's find out what it's about. It says, fate is a cruel mistress. The daughter of a powerful but disgraced blood worker, Shan Leclerc has spent her entire life perfecting her blood magic, building her network of spies and gathering scraps of power. Now to protect her brother, she assassinates their father and takes her place at the head of the family, and that is only the start of her revenge. Samuel Hutchinson is a bastard with a terrible gift. When he stumbles across the first victim of a magical serial killer, he's drawn into the world of sorcery and intrigue he's worked so hard to avoid, and is pulled deeply into the ravenous and bloodthirsty court of the Vampire King. Tasked to discover the identity of the killer cutting a bloody swath through the city, Samuel, Shan, and mysterious royal blood worker Isaac find themselves growing ever closer to each other, but Shan's plans are treacherous, and as she lures Samuel into her complicated web of desire, treason, and vengeance, he must decide if the good of their nation is worth the cost of his soul. Mistress of Lies is a darkly seductive romantasy debut with a villainous, bloodthirsty heroine who finds herself plunged into the dangerous world of power, politics, and murder in the court of the Eternal King. Sign me the fuck up. I did not get romantasy vibes from the cover. It was only like, I got like gothic fiction from this. When I opened this, I was like, I'm ready. And this, stunning, gorgeous. So let me know down in the comments what your favorite item from this month's box is. I think that this is a much better box as a whole than the July one. A lot of things more to my taste, and I like the aesthetic a little bit more of this box. I am a little bit disappointed by the size of the bowls in here. It does say in the spoiler card that they are snack bowls, so I mean, that does imply they are intended to be smaller. Where have I put the bowls? How can I lose them? They're literally bowls. Oh, they're right here. So my favorite items are probably the bowls, although I am a little bit disappointed by the size because I love the other bowls so much. And the packing cubes will also come in handy for me as well. As a little break before we get into the mega stack of Fairyloots, we will crack into our locked library box. This is a book that sounded very interesting to me, which is why I got it, but I really don't like the standard cover. And I feel like it's real risky with Locked Library because they have had some absolutely stunning editions, but they've had some not so great ones as well. So I am just hoping I took a risk on this because I wouldn't have bought this book with the original cover, but it did sound good. So I was like, hopefully Locked Library do something with the cover that makes me glad that this edition, they have done something a little bit different with it. It's not what I thought they were gonna do. It's much nicer than the original, okay? Editing Becca here, I just want to add a little bit of a note to what I say about the cover, because I happened to be in Waterstones yesterday and I saw the standard UK cover of this book. So I was under the assumption that the US cover of this book was also the UK cover of this book. It is not. The standard UK edition is the same as the Loch Library edition in a different colorway, which means that I'm now extremely disappointed because this cover is like mid AF and the original is actually purple, so it's in a worse color in my humble opinion. And it's like a weird photo, like they could have done like an illustrated cover for this and it would have been much cooler. So the effort put into it was truly like the minimum effort that you could to make this a special edition in terms of the cover. It has like all the other stuff as well, but like the cover is I should have just skipped and maybe got an ebook or something of this one. I will overlay the original over the top, and this is going to be very specific, I feel, to my generation and also to the UK. The original cover to me looks like a poster, like a religion poster that would be on the wall of a primary school in the early 2000s. It's about the art style and the color palette, I think. So this one is definitely much better, although I don't love the almost photographic kind of look of it. It could be nicer. It's better than the original, but I feel like a special edition could be nicer. We have a printed edge on here. Oh, this is the Spice Gate as well. I should probably say this is the Spice Gate by Prashant Srivatsa. I'm not sure if that was quite right, but this is an Indian inspired fantasy and it sounded really good. So we have end papers in here, which are indeed different on both sides. This one is published by Voyager as well, so it's an adult fantasy. Underneath we have a foiled hardcover, and it does have a bound in letter from the author. So the synopsis of this one says, relics of a mysterious god. The spice gates connect the 8 far-flung kingdoms, each separated by a distinct spice and only accessible by those born with a special mark. This is not a mark of distinction, but one of subjugation. Spice carriers suffer the lashes of their rich masters and the jolting pain of passing through the gates themselves. Amir is a spice carrier dreaming of escape, but something is stirring in the inhospitable spaces between the kingdoms. As Amir makes his plans for freedom, he's drawn into a plot that threatens to unravel the power keeping the gates in balance. Gods, assassins, and throne keepers all have a vested interest in the spice trade, and Amir will have to decide what kind of world he wants to live in if the world survives at all. Delve into Prashant Srivatsa's masterful debut fantasy and journey through the spice gates on a magical kingdom hopping adventure. Sounds good, which is why I wanted it. So for the Fairyloots, we will start with the monthly subs. We'll start with the YA and then we'll make our way through until we get to the special editions that I ordered for myself. Oh, the spoiler card is on top, which is always fun because I normally have to dig for it. But the theme for this month is Reflected Realms, and the spoilers are here if you'd like to pause and take a look. The first item that we have in here is a pair of socks. I'm always, oh, the Howl's Moving Castle socks as well. I'm here for this. I do love subscription box socks. I mean, everyone needs socks all of the time, right? I say that as my sock drawer overflows, but oh my god, these are so cute. Howl's Moving Castle is one of my favorite books, so I'm here for it. The next thing we have is, ooh, a mirror inspired by The Girl with No Reflection. This is cute. It is, of course, a mirror. It's got a like protective thing on it. And this art in the back. I might actually just throw this in my makeup bag so that I have one, because I'm using an eyeshadow palette that is honestly destroyed simply just for the mirror. We have a new passport cover. Oh, that's cool. It says on the front, Citizen of the Celestial Kingdom. I am already using the passport cover that came from, I think, an Illumicrate, but this one is inspired by, I'm pretty sure, the daughter of the moon goddess, it seems. We have one of the Fairyloot plates, like bowls. I love a plate. I really like having all like unique mismatching kind of kitchenware. So I love when subscription boxes have plates and bowls in, and I do also love this one. And then the final item, I think, is Reflections notepads, which is, oh cool. So these are like a daily to-do kind of thing. I get why it's called Reflections now, because it has like a section of what you're excited for and like your favorite moment. That kind of journaling, like a note taking, does nothing for me. It actually almost makes me anxious and trying to find something I'm excited for and things that I've enjoyed in the day. I know it's supposed to like make you acknowledge like the little things in life and have gratitude. Like I don't know why I don't like it, but I do like to-do list pads. My daily to-do list on the flip side of that stops me from getting anxious because it stops me from getting overwhelmed. The tarot cards are from the book of the month. This month we have 9 and 10 of Suns, and they are inspired by, like I said, the book of the month, which is The Girl with No Reflection. And getting into that book, she's a chunky one. Oh, in here as well we have koi fish. We have the monthly fairy scoop, and we should also have, yes, the bookmark inspired by the this is pretty, inspired by the spoiler card art. So the book of the month is of course The Girl with No Reflection by Kesh Chow. I love this edition, but I have no idea what the original looks like, so I'm gonna have to check it out. Okay, so like with last month's adult Fairyloot book, I think it was, The Night Ends with Fire, this is one that is very much in keeping with the original cover, but is a completely unique cover at the same time. I love the design of this. Obviously reflection is a key theme, which is portrayed in the cover. I really like the edges on here. It's the color palette for me, like the dark deep blues with the orange. We also have custom end pages that are different on both sides. We have a foiled hardcover, and then we also have another like reverse dust jacket with also completely custom art on here. So looking good in terms of the edition. Inside as well, we have a map. A very nice map actually, and a bound in letter from the author. The synopsis of this one says, Princess Ying Yu believed in love once. Yet when she's chosen to wed the prince, Ying's dreams of a fairy tale marriage fall apart. Her husband-to-be is cold and indifferent, finding Ying to her room for reasons he won't explain, and whispers swirl about 7 other brides who mysteriously disappeared after their own weddings. Left alone with only her reflection for company, Ying begins to see strange things in her mirror, and on the eve of her wedding, she unwittingly tears open a gateway and is pulled into another world. The realm is full of sentient reflections, including the enigmatic Mirror Prince. He is kind and compassionate, unlike his real-world counterpart. Before long, Ying falls in love, but soon she discovers the 2 worlds have a blood-soaked history, and Ying has a part to play in both. And the brides who came before her, by the time they discovered their roles, it was already too late. This sounds really good. It also has an element of like The Pomegranate Gate by Ariel Kaplan, which is a book that I read last year and I really, really loved. That is the series name for that is called The Mirror Realm Cycle, which is where I'm getting those kind of vibes. So yeah, I'm actually quite excited to read that one. Let me know what your favorite item from this month's box is. Very middle of the road, kind of solid Fairyloot box for me. My favorite items are definitely the plate and the socks, and I'll definitely get use out of these two. Oh, this folds, the mirror folds as well, which is really handy for like transport. And now we're just going to be through some special editions. The adult Fairyloot. This is the most exciting part, like seeing the editions is my favorite part. Oh, I know what this is, and actually I have seen this edition. I was spoiled for it yesterday, but the theme is Villains Assemble. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this book because I believe it's quite humorous, and that can go either way with me. A lot of times I really don't like it. I'm a very serious person. I like very serious books, but this one is Long Live Evil by Sarah Reese Brannon. Now I will overlay the original over the top. I'm pretty sure that this is just a colorway change. The original is purple and this one is red. We have a stained glass edge on here that says Longing for Revenge. Ooh, I like the kind of assembly, like the positioning. I can't think of the word. Of the end pages. And we have different characters in the back ones. The naked hardcover is foiled, and ooh, I love this. I wonder who's the artist on that. Yes, I thought so. The reversible dust jacket is by Monolime Art, and I really, really like the art style on here. Normally, I do prefer the standard covers, as opposed to completely custom covers, but this one is really doing it for me. So this seems like it would be exactly my vibe, apart from the fact that I think that it's funny. Inside we do have a letter from the author as well, but the synopsis says, a story for anyone who's ever fallen for the villain, which sign me up, man. When her whole life collapsed, Ray still had books. Dying, she seizes a second chance at living, a magical bargain that lets her enter the world of her favourite fantasy series. She wakes in a castle on the edge of a hellish chasm, in a kingdom on the brink of war. Home to dangerous monsters, scheming courtiers, and her favourite fictional character, the once and forever Emperor. He's impossibly alluring as only fiction can be, and in this fantasy world she discovers she's not the heroine but the villainess in the Emperor's tale. So be it, the wicked are better dressed with better one-liners even if they're doomed to bad ends. She assembles the wildly desperate villains of the story under her evil leadership, plotting to change their fate. But as the body count rises and the Emperor's fury increases, it seems Ray and her allies may not survive to see the final page. This adult epic fantasy debut from Sarah Rees Brennan puts the reader in the villain's shoes for an adventure that is both brilliant, which is what Holly Black said, supremely satisfying. Lee Bardugo. Expect a rogues gallery of villains including an axe-wielding maid, a shining knight and dark moons, a homicidal bodyguard and a playboy spymaster with a golden heart and a filthy reputation. I love a golden heart and a filthy reputation. I don't know, kind of sounds good. I could like it, I could not. I'm cautiously optimistic about this one and I do really like the addition, especially that reverse dust jacket art. For Fairyloot's Romantasy box, I am excited to see the addition on this one, but very sadly I know that this one is just not going to be for me. And I actually don't think I'm even going to give it a try, which is unusual for me, but it all will become clear very soon if y'all are familiar with my channel at all. But the theme for this month is Captive Hearts. The book in question is Bonded by Thorns? Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. So this one is a completely custom cover, so I will overlay the original over the top. We have a rose printed edge on here. Ooh, it's pretty. It has a really nice end papers. Really nice end papers. Oh, they're almost tempting, but I can't do it, man. I can't do it. And then the reverse dust jacket. This, I think, is the original cover and potentially a different colorway. Then we have, oh, this is a nice combination. I don't love covers that are both printed and foiled, but I like the way that this is done because the foiling is tracing things like elements that are already printed on the cover, and I think it's like a really nice effect. So the reason why I don't think that I'm going to be reading this is that it is a reverse harem book, which as we know is a subgenre of romance that I've repeatedly tried and I've never enjoyed it. So I've recently unhauled all of the reverse harem that I had left on my shelves with one exception, and I don't think that this is going to be an exception. I don't think it's going to be for me, which is sad because this edition is actually very, very pretty and I very much like the character art. But the synopsis says 4 handsome fae princes, 1 awkward bookworm, an enchanted veil, a beastly curse to break. Rosalina O'Connell lives her life in Orca Cove as quietly as she can. When her father turns up missing, Rosie goes after him and finds herself in the Enchanted Vale at the land of the Fae. When Rosie locates her father, she discovers that he has been imprisoned, and Rosie has no choice but to make a deal with the 4 Fae princes to take his place. As Rosie begins to learn more about the 4 princes she shares a castle with, she uncovers that they have been cursed. Princes must take on the form of demonic wolves every night, and with every year that passes, more of their magic fades away. If the princes can find their mates, they will break their curse and free their realm. Rosie is determined to help them, but the only problem is the more time she spends with the princes, the more she's convinced that she's the one they are all meant to be with. A spicy Beauty and the Beast retelling filled with enchanted fae, morally grey characters, a sinfully hot villain, and a princess who has found her Prince Charming, all 4 of them. This sounds kind of familiar to a book that I read a few years ago. Oh, this is spicy. This is spicy. I'm probably not going to be reading this one. I can't lie. Reverse harem is simply not for me. Stunning edition. I hope that y'all who love reverse harem love the book. Now on to the special editions that I have ordered. I think that this one is Queen Bee by Juno Dawson. It literally says on it actually. Yes, this one is Queen Bee by Juno Dawson. I am very excited to read this one. It is much smaller than I anticipated it being, but that just makes it even easier to tick off my TBR next month. So this month, actually, the month that you're seeing this, but not the month that I'm filming this. Oh, she's don't die me. So this one is a prequel to the Her Majesty's Royal Coven series. It is the same kind of design as the rest of the books in the series. I will overlay the original over the top though, because it is a different colorway. We have some Latin printed on the edge, a spot printed, spot foiled. I can't remember what it's called, but it's when it's foil, but it's not foil, you know. And spot gloss maybe, and a signed end paper in here. So Her Majesty's Royal Coven is about a coven of witches who were very close in childhood, and then there was a war between the witches and the warlocks and they all went their separate ways. So the story kind of picks up where there is a prophecy about the sullied child that is going to bring about this demon that will start the end of days. So one of the members of the coven, who is the high priestess of Her Majesty's Royal Coven, gets in touch with one of her childhood friends and asks her to rehabilitate this child to stop the end of days from coming about. Queen Bee, as the prequel, is about the origins of Her Majesty's Royal Coven, which is the official government organization pertaining to the witches of the world. It was founded by Anne Boleyn, and this novella is, I imagine, the founding of Her Majesty's Royal Coven. Oh, the text is big in here as well, which, to be fair, the text is big in the actual core installments of the series. But yeah, it is 168 pages, even smaller than I thought. I was thinking more like 250, but this is perfect to go onto my September TBR amongst some chunkier books that I have on there for my Magical Readathon TBR. And the last one is a sequel to a book that I read recently that I didn't expect to love. But this one's a little bit shorter than book one. Not by much, like it's still a full-length book, it's just not quite as thick as the first one. But this one is The Undermining of Twyla and Frank by Megan Bannen. I am sad because one of the prompts of Magical Readathon is a book with a bat on the cover, and on first appearance I thought that they were bat wings, but they're actually dragons, and there are a lot of dragons like embedded in the cover of this one. So this one is the sequel to The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, which is a rom-com style fantasy book that I did not expect to love and I really enjoyed. So The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy is obviously following Heart and Mercy. Mercy is an undertaker, Heart is a marshal, and it is a You've Got Mail retelling where they hate each other and they start writing anonymous letters that are somehow reaching the other one, kind of like divine rivals. This one is following two different characters within that world that we do meet very briefly in The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, which is Twyla and Frank. And from what I gathered from that brief meeting, they are a little bit older. Because this is a almost standalone companion novel, I am going to read out the synopsis, but first I'm going to look at these special features. So we have the stenciled edge. I love purple and blue together as well. It's one of my favorite color combinations. I'll overlay the original cover as well. I'm getting so carried away with myself. But we have, oh, I love this. Look at that. I love it when you have books with foiling of like a couple, similarly to the Ali Hazelwood like Illumicrate books. We also have end pages in here. Something that really confused me about Heart and Mercy is how this is kind of contemporary. Like it's set in the modern day, even though it also seems kind of like Western / steampunk in origin. And I don't feel like it was very well explained in the first book, but I feel like you get a little bit more clarity, I've heard, within book 2. But the synopsis of this one says, the small town of Eternity was shocked when widowed, middle-aged Twyla Banneker partnered up with her neighbour and best friend Frank Ellis to join the Tanria Marshals. Thankfully, patrolling the magical wilderness of Tanria is a mostly uneventful job these days, but when a dragon-sized footprint is discovered near the body of a dead marshal, the job suddenly becomes a lot more interesting. Quill, a handsome dracologist, is called in from the university to help them investigate. For the first time since her husband died, Twyla finds herself the flattering focus of an appropriately aged man's attraction, something that seems to be bothering her longtime best friend Frank. Is this an age gap romance? As Twyla and Frank's investigation becomes more complicated, so does their easy friendship, and Twyla starts to realize that her true soulmate might just be the person who's lived next door all along. This is a kind of When Harry Met Sally retelling as well, which is exciting. So, oh my god, I'm so hyped. That is the end of this unboxing, and what a beautiful note to end it on. I have an option of putting either of these on my September TBR. I think I'm gonna go with Queen Bee because it's shorter, but I really want to read The Undermining of Twyla and Frank. But this is this month's chunky stack of special editions. It has been a while since we have had one this big. Down in the comments, let me know which of these books you're most excited for, based on the edition, but also kind of like the synopses of them. I will, of course, show y'all the edges on here as well, which is always the best part of the unboxing. I think my favorite edition, is still this, and it is purely for printed hardcover. Like, the cover is nice, but it's not blowing my mind, but this is my favorite element on any of the books that we've shown today. Also, very strong printed edge on here, but I actually think if we were talking about just the edges, my favorite one would actually be the girl with no reflection, because I really like the contrast between the orange and the dark blue. So that is the end of my August unboxing. I do hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Once again, a big thank you to Fairyloot and Illumicrate for sending me boxes to show to you guys in this video. Down in my description box, you will find the links to all of the boxes that I've opened here today, as well as any discount codes and links to their social media that I also have down there. But I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, so please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna. If you head into my description box, you will also find links to my Goodreads, Instagram, and Patreon if you would like to join me on any of those. But that is it from me today, guys. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you're a go and nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.